Are you ready? Here we are. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Jolpy and Ghosty. So, we have a $75 partner tier where you can jump on and get a song reacted to, kind of push to the front of the line.
Pushes you right to the front of the line.
And this one is for the big homie Armando.
Armando.
And he's kind of bringing us through some Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He said he's going through his I guess his records and going through them and finding the ones he likes the best. I think he's going through them in chronological order, I think he said.
Yeah, the name of this song is Papa Won't Leave You, Henry, and the name of the record is Henry's Dream. So I'm assuming this is one of those concept records. Oh. But it's the first song on the concept record, which is good because what that means is that there's not going to be a part of the story that we're missing.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So that's good. I've been really interested in this band, actually.
Yeah?
I'm pretty grateful that we found this band because this guy, remember he did the Mercy Seat and then he did the Cain and Abel one?
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
He's got sort of the biblical sort of background there, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so this is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Hey, you see my headphones?
Huh?
You see my headphones?
Nope.
Pardon?
What did you do?
We're back.
Did you lose them? We're back. She found her headphones.
They were right here.
I don't know if I told you guys this before the other cut, but for timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori. Where you can discover why Vin is the single most frustrating human being on the internet and why it's so hard to love me.
I love you.
Yeah. But I guess you have a hard time loving me, I guess?
No. Who said that?
I'm just messing with you.
I'm like, don't tell me you got that from Ben Webb. He has all kinds of things to say.
Right. We generally don't listen to Ben when he says that
on
stuff.
anything. Did you?
He was actually making some pretty good points in the debate about how much food we throw away.
Oh yeah, that's not cool.
All right, what are you talking about?
I forgot what I was going to ask you. It seemed important at the time, but it's now gone. Oh, did you put up that video about my? What'd you say, Super Saiyan Sori?
Oh, the Super Saiyan Sori video where Sori almost...
No, don't say anymore. That's for the patrons.
I won't say... Okay, so...
Did you put it up yet?
No, I haven't put it up yet.
Okay, that's going to be going up. Keep your eye out.
So patrons, we've been getting you guys some exclusive behind the scenes into our life type of situations. Right. Some of them have to do with the workout and stuff, but... you're going to want to see this one in the next day or two.
I think it's related to the working out. It might be.
Next day or two.
Possible.
Yes,
it's related to my entire past.
Or all of the above. Another little perk for being a patron. That the last leadership meeting we had, people were saying, hey,
thank you very much.
Do we get anything else for being patrons? Well, there you are.
There
all right. Papa Won't Leave You, Henry. Let's go.
And go. Right? And go.
I went out walking the other day, the heat hung wet around my neck, my head had rung with screams and groans for the night I spent amongst her bones. And I passed beside the mission house where that mad old buzzard, the Reverend, shrieked and flapped about life after you're dead. Well, I thought about my friend Michelle, how they rolled him in linoleum and they shot him in the neck. A bloody halo like a think bubble circling his head. And I bellowed at the firmament, looks like the rains are here to stay. And the rain pissed down upon me and it washed me all away. Saying, Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Well, the road is long and the road is hard and many fall by the side. But Papa won't leave you, Henry, so there ain't no need to cry. And I went on down the road. Oh yeah, I went on down the road. Well, the moon looked exhausted like like something you should pity. A spent an age spotted above the sizzling wires of the city that reminded me of her face and her bleached and hungry eyes. Her hair was like a curtain, now falling open with the laughter and closing with the lies. And the ghost of her still lingers on, though she's passed through me and is gone. Well, the slum dogs, they are barking, the rain children on the streets, and the tears that we will weep today will all be washed away. By the tears that we will weep again tomorrow. Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Well, the road is long and the road is hard, and many fall by the side. Well, Papa won't leave you, Henry, so there ain't no need to cry. And I went on down the road. Oh yeah, I went on down the road. And I came upon a little house upon a hill. And I entered through and the curtain hissed into the house with its blood-red boughs, where wet-lipped women with greasy fists crawled the ceilings and the walls. And they filled me full of drink, and they led me round the rooms, naked and cold and grinning, until everything went black and I came down spinning. I woke so drunk and full of rage that I could hardly speak. A fag and a whalebone corset draping his dick across my cheek. Well, it's into the shame and it's into the guilt and it's into the fucking fray. And a wall's red around me, a warm arterial spray saying, Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Well, the night is dark and the night is deep and his jaws are open wide. Yeah, well, Papa won't leave you, Henry, so there ain't no need to cry. And I went on down the road. Oh, yeah, I went on down the road. Yeah, whoa. It's a rainy season where I'm living. Death comes leaping out of every doorway, wasting you for your money, for your clothes and for your nothing. Entire towns being washed away, the fellas exploding on inflammable spillways, and the lynch mob, death squads, babies being born without brains, the mad heat and the relentless rains. Well, if you stick your arm into that hole, it comes out shit off to the bone. And with the kisses of a man on my lips, I swiped the rain and it nearly missed. And then I went on down the road. Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy. Well, the road is long and the road is hard, and I maybe fall by the side. Well, and Papa wanna leave you, Henry, so there ain't no need to cry. And I went on down the road. Oh yeah, I went on down the road. Yeah, back beneath my head alone. Yeah, I went on down the road. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, wow, wow. Yeah, whoa, whoa. Yeah, whoa, whoa. And I went on down that road.
What an interesting song. It sounded like
It sounded familiar, and I don't know what it was.
You know how Devil Went Down to Georgia?
Yes!
You know,
Maybe that's what it was.
It had that kind of vibe, like the Wild West type of vibe type to it. Which is really interesting because that's the type of country that, like, I can appreciate.
Ah! I have a country song I actually wanted to show you.
Like the whole thing where
they threw electric guitars into it.
My dog stole my girlfriend and he also stole my liquor and yada yada yada.
He also stole my liquor.
I'm not really, and they're all kind of like the same to me, but there's that sort of like almost folksy type of thing, you know, where it's like, whoa, okay, I can rock with this. It's got some soul in it. It's got some soul in it. All right, so Papa Won't Leave You, Henry. This is going to be an interesting one. What did you think overall?
Well, first of all, I was very confused. Every time I felt like I was getting a grasp on what the song was about, then I got nailed with something else, and I was like, what? Why are we talking about a dick on this man's face? Like, I was very confused.
Well,
and
he
then,
ended up killing that guy.
Sound-wise, is that what went all over the walls?
Well, it says an arterial spray. You know, it's into the shame and it's into the guilt, into the fray, and the walls ran red around me, a warm arterial spray.
Okay.
Which means the walls went red, arterial spray. So I think he ended up killing that guy.
Well, I didn't know what was going on there, and then I actually got sidetracked by this horrible story that this woman was telling me about. It's not anyone in our village, but she had been married to this guy that was not. He obviously wasn't a good guy, and I don't know if the story is true or not true, but it was what she said, and she told me that her husband had her get dressed really nice, but in a kind of, you know, edgy dress, short and tight and stuff. And then he brought her to this place, and then, like, when she was being brought in, there was, like, a lot of red lights and just, like, mattresses all over the place. And she was like, what the heck is happening? And then these guys came in, and he had the whole thing set up just to watch them rape her. It was a horrible, horrible situation. Honestly, when I was told this story, I was way too young to hear that story. That had happened to that lady. And so I was thinking about that when this is going on, and I lost track again because I was like, wow, I wonder if that actually did happen to her and how horrible that would be to have it be your husband that put you in that situation. But
wow.
Yeah.
So the song made you think of that?
Yeah, because of just when it got into the scene where there was that guy and there was all that, you know, just weirdness. And so, like, at first I did not like the sound of it at all. I was like, this song is getting a 2. And then it slowly, like, kept climbing up until, you know, I'll reveal my final score at the end. But yeah, it was very weird, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So Vinny, fill me in. I too will be watching your channel.
I really.
Or are you unclear about what's going on
unclear.
Here?
So the first verse is, I went walking out the other day. The heat hung wet around my neck. That's a good line.
Yeah, it did.
My head
that's
had
how it
rung
feels.
with screams and groans from the night I spent amongst her bones.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed beside the mission house where that mad old buzzard, the Reverend, shrieked and flapped about life after you're
What
dead.
an insulting way of wording that. That made me laugh, though.
What do you mean?
Well,
why would that? What's it? I don't understand.
It's just like when you picture like shrieking and then like flapping and like he's like life after death and like Christians, you know what I mean? Like it just seemed like a pretty insulting way of referring to this reverend and what he does, you know. But he was probably like, you know, serious about it because he felt like he has an understanding about what life after death is, and so he wants to help people. So he's like going all in.
Yeah.
He called him an old buzzard, and then I don't know. Then he thought about his friend.
Well, so I spent among her bones.
Yeah.
So there's a female that died, but if you looked over later on, he talks about his buddy Michelle, how they rolled him in linoleum and shot him in the neck.
Mm-hmm. But when he said I passed by the mission house, and he talked about the Reverend, like remember back in the day, like the cemetery was right by the church?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's saying when it said he spent a night by her, you know, amongst her bones, I don't know if he was there at her grave.
Well, that's yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening. And then he, to your point, he passes by the mission house, which I'm assuming is another word for a church. Mm-hmm. And there goes the Reverend going off about life after death. Which, it's really interesting to me as a Christian. And to me, it's just like, there's never been a moment in my life where I even had the idea that there was no life after death.
I know. I can't even...
So,
yeah.
Like, if I was raised to think that this life was all there is, and then I ran into people speaking so confidently and matter-of-factly about this thing that they consider a fact, but I'd be like, yo, this is so strange. Mm-hmm. But then I feel strange that, other people don't believe in life after this. So it's just one of those things that's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I bellowed at the firmament, meaning he's calling out to God, the firmament. Looks like the rains are here to stay, and the rain pissed down upon me and washed me all away. So it's kind of like, God's like, yeah, man, I've made it so that your life sucks. Whoo! Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I'm getting from that.
Yeah, that's what
He just lost, some young lady that was important to him, and his buddy Michelle, who they wrapped him in linoleum and shot him in the neck. Good night. I don't know, why would you wrap somebody in linoleum? What's linoleum?
Oh, linoleum
is that the stuff on the floor?
Yeah, it's like the floorings.
Okay, that sounds like a mob hit or something like that. And you wrap him in linoleum and try to hide his body or whatever?
Yeah. Yikes.
And the rain pissed down upon me and washed me all away, saying. So this is actually the rain speaking to him.
And who's Papa?
Papa won't leave you, Henry. Papa won't leave you, boy.
Is Papa supposed to be God? Or is Papa supposed to be literally his father?
Maybe it's his dad, and his
dad always said that to him?
Right, maybe his dad passed on, and now he's trying to figure out how to survive in a world where all his best friends keep dying. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and his lady friends. So, but again, the name of the song is Henry's Dream. The next one is I Had a Dream, Joe. Right?
Yeah, the album is Henry's Dream.
Yeah, and then it's When I First Came to Town, John Finn's Wife. So, there might be obvious reasons for why the her there is probably John Finn's wife, which is one of the song titles.
Maybe.
Which would explain.
That doesn't sound.
Which would explain why and how she died, probably. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
John Finn's wife doesn't sound to me like that's talking about the girl that's bones are there, but previously. John Finn's wife sounds like he's having a thing for another man's life.
Yeah.
Not the girl that was dead in the song.
Are they mutually exclusive?
I'm saying that I think that they are. I think that because the first song, if they're in chronological order, then the first song she's already dead, so he's not.
Well, yeah, but don't you ever see those movies where they show you like what's going on in the present, then later on they do a flashback to the past?
You can think that. I don't. I think it's another one.
Yeah.
There used to be a country song where he would I can't remember what her name was. She was some married woman. And he would watch her. She'd come out barely in her bathrobe or something. I can't remember what the name of her song.
Well, I mean, I don't know, babe, because it said, enter John Finn in his shrunken suit with his quick black eyes and black cheroot, with his filed down teeth and hobnail boot, his fist full of pistols in his pockets, aimed at me and aiming at his wife.
You might be right. All right. Boy, that night didn't go well.
Yeah, there it is. But John Finn ended up dying on the ground.
So I'm right.
All the flowers down from her hair and threw them to the ground, and the flies did hum, and the flies did buzz.
around.
So he wanted to kill her, but I guess he wasn't able to. But
yep, because the other guy got him first.
Yeah. So. All
right. So.
It's really so. Papa could be, God. It could be literally his dad, basically saying life is really, really tough to navigate. So. There's no need to cry, I got your back, and this is how life is. And I went on down the road, like, that looks like he's saying, I kept living, I kept going. I love this line right here. The moon, it looked exhausted, like something you should pity. That's a good line. That's a really good line. It reminded me of her face and her bleached and hungry eyes. Her hair was like a curtain, falling open with the laughter and closing with the lies. The ghost of her still lingers on, though she's passed through me and is gone. Well, the slum dogs, they are barking, and the rain children on the streets, and the tears that we will weep today will all be washed away by the tears we weep today. We'll weep again tomorrow. Yikes.
I know, that's so depressing.
Yikes. So it's
It's not going to change tomorrow.
Pretty tragic stuff. Whoever this young lady is, he apparently felt something for her, but she's dead. That's a pretty interesting... Her hair is like a curtain, falling open with the laughter and closing with the lies. So maybe he lied to her and she could tell when he was lying to her, and so that was the end of that.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, actually, like if it's super literal, like if she was feeling good about him and when you like tilt your head back and laugh and like her hair is like a curtain and like she tilts back in laughter,
right.
But then once he lies to her, like, there's been times where I've been mad at you and I've just let my hair just be like this because I don't want to, it's like my little separation. So maybe that's, you didn't know that about me, did you?
Sure,
did you?
Sure.
Did you know?
Sure.
So maybe that's what was going on there. I don't
Looks
know.
like he then enters a brothel in verse 3.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Where wet-lipped women with greasy fists crawl the ceilings and the walls, and they fill me full of drink.
It sounds like demons, not women. How are they crawling on the ceilings?
They led me to well, that's because he's in some sort of induced state. So he blacks out and he wakes up in this situation with another man instead of one of the women, and he goes and kills the guy. Which is bananas to me. Like, you're in our house, my guy. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Like, he went in there to use those women.
Right.
He didn't expect for some man to use him.
Right. It's a rainy season where I'm living. Death comes leaking out of every doorway, wasting your money. Wasting you for money for your clothes and for your nothing. Entire towns being washed away. Favelas exploding on inflammable spillways and the lynch mobs, death squads. Babies born without brains and mad heats and relentless rains. Well, if you stick your arm into that hole, it comes out sheared off to the bone.
Yeah.
And with her kisses bubbling on my lips, I swiped the rain and nearly missed. And then I went on down the road. It just looks like he's saying, look, man, bad stuff happens in the world. And you just got to keep going. And, if you have a father figure that can kind of guide you through that and tell you what to expect, great. If not, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks like that's kind of the guiding theme through all of that. And we're all going to die. Mm-hmm. Things aren't going to go the way you expect them. Mm-hmm. So, boom. And, of course, this is this guy's dream. So, I'm sure this would be one of those things where if we listened to the entire record and then came back to this particular song, we would have more insight into actually what it actually meant. But who knows? All right, what do you give the song?
It was a 7.9 for me.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 9 because it was in a different kind of style that I'm used to. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like metal, but it was definitely a different style. And like I said, I like that version of country music, so it's a 9 for me. Mm-hmm. There you are, dear listener. Vin,
have a good one, Armando.
Yeah. Buenas noches.
Yeah.
Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.